Hey there, Heather Freeman with the Painted Playground, and today I am painting some sweet little Tweety birds over here. I've got my palette knife out and I'm just playing around. I've got a tree branch painted and some little birdies started and some of my favorite colors and just having some fun painting. So glad you can join me. I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and I'm wondering, I also wanted to talk to you about something that I'm wondering how many of you consider yourself a fine artist. Let me know in the comments below. Just give me a thumbs up or a yes. Because if you are, I want to give you a tip. Or actually, it doesn't matter if you consider yourself a fine artist or not. This art is all about having fun, and you don't have to be a fine artist to have fun painting and to give yourself time to refill your tank with some creative play. You don't have to be a fine artist. You don't have to know what you're doing. I used to be there. I used to think, I have to have this all figured out and I have to know what I'm doing. And I, want to have something when I'm done with it come out perfect. And that really kept me from just getting to the canvas and getting to my studio and painting and making things for the longest time. And then once I finally got over myself and said, this isn't about making fine art. This is about playing. This is about refueling me and having some fun. Then that's really when the magic started happening. So tell me, have you been there? Can you relate? Is that something that you've dealt with? Maybe that's something that you figured out how to get over, and you're now painting and having fun, but it was something that kept you from painting. I'd love to know. I love a good success story. So yeah, definitely used to be something that kept me from the canvas. And I was actually painting with my daughter this past weekend, and it was so much fun. We were playing with the palette knife and doing some flowers, and super fun until she started getting super frustrated with how it was turning out. And she was letting that inner critic come up, and she really wanted it to be perfect the first time and wasn't allowing herself the space to play. Like, this was a new technique for her. She hadn't used the palette knife before. And so I saw firsthand, not only have I dealt with that, but then I saw how it affected my daughter. And so we really had to talk about, letting that go, and kind of refocusing, what's the intention here? Let's focus on the play, and that we're spending, time together. You and I are at the table in the studio painting together. We don't always have time. That time doesn't come easily. We really have to, think about it and use it when it comes. Thinking about shifting kind of gears and letting that inner critic go so that we could have fun playing and seeing what each other discovered with the palette knife and with their painting, and sharing, being able to share what we were doing and kind of the things that were working and things that weren't working. That's really what it was all about. And so we really had to get back to that place. And so I saw it firsthand, that how powerful that inner critic can be. But then once we're aware of it, and we can, it's always going to be there, but once we're aware of it and can kind of talk back to it and say, okay, thanks for being here, but this is what's more important to me right now, and that is painting and creating and having fun. And here I am with someone else who wants to have fun. That's what it's going to be about. Versus getting it right that first time. I remember when I was first starting out too, in my old home, I said, girls, we're going to make a brave wall, just to have as a reminder to do brave things, whether it's with painting, whatever we're creating or doing. And so we took this wall and that's exactly what we did. We just played with paint. And I don't know if the next owners kept it or not, but it was definitely a great reminder for us to get a little wild, have some fun. It's not every day that you can paint a wall in your home. So doing that felt really rebellious and took some courage. And, for me, the kids had an easy time. They were, I feel like, Bailey was probably 2.5, 3. And so that, so she had no problem. Paint a wall? Oh my gosh, this is so cool. So she had no problem diving in and having fun with that. Me, on the other hand, for sure, had to really think about letting go and just getting into the creative process with my girls. Because I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I was not allowed to paint on the walls. That was not an okay thing to do. So there was definitely letting go of that inner critic and a freeing of my inner artist to come out and play and paint on a wall. And it's really fun and Paint Party Online, getting to see and witness so many people really diving in and letting their inner artist out to play. It's really my favorite part of teaching. To have experienced it myself is one thing, and then to be able to see other people experiencing it as well in a really safe and fun environment together. It's super, super cool. So if you're interested in that, that's coming out in March. I'm so excited. The doors will open in March for that monthly membership. So if you're not on my email list yet, you can get on it, and you'll definitely hear when I'm getting ready to open the doors for that. A couple little Tweety birds. Using this palette knife is super fun. It's easy. I didn't really mean to pick up that black. But you can go right over it again. That's one of the joys of acrylic paints, is that it dries and you can go back over it. Unlike, watercolors, you really have to be very intentional with your painting. Acrylic paints just lend itself to being more playful. You can mess up and go back and play around a little bit more. These little guys. Might even lighten that up a little bit. So, it's really fun just to smush it around. It feels like frosting. So, and if you're, so again, a reminder, just to, if you have that inner critic saying, "Oh, you're not an artist, you can't do this," I am here to say, yes, you can. And once you give yourself permission to play and just let that inner artist out to play, and that childlike sense of playing with paint. That's when the magic really happens. So I'm going to keep painting this background, and then if you want more about this, I have a free ebook, The Ultimate Guide for Getting Started with fun and creative painting practice, one that you can come back to again and again and again to refill your bucket. And so that link is in the description below. And it gives all kinds of tips and tricks for getting to the canvas and making that time to paint and play. Oh, sweet things. So, all right. I will see you next time at the canvas. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you found this helpful, give me a thumbs up, a like, and if you know somebody that this would be helpful for, please pass this along, tag them below, and just shed the joy of painting and play and playing with colors, and yeah, it's good stuff. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time at the canvas. All right, bye for now.